If you cry easily during arguments, during movies, or when things simply become too much, science says you possess something most people never develop. And no, it's not weakness. In fact, the very thing you've been told to suppress might be one of your greatest psychological advantages. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may never apologize for your tears again. 1. The lie we were taught. Most of us grew up hearing the same message. Stop crying. Be strong. Toughen up. Somewhere along the way, tears became associated with failure, fragility, or loss of control. But here's something most people don't realize. Humans are the only species on Earth that cry emotional tears. Not for dust, not for pain, but for feelings. That means nature didn't make crying by accident. It built it into us on purpose. So if you cry easily, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because something in you is working very well. 2. What psychology actually says. Psychologists have identified 3 main reasons some people cry more easily than others. First, deeper emotional processing. If you cry easily, your brain processes emotions more intensely. Areas like the amygdala and anterior cingulate cortex respond faster and stronger to emotional input. In simple terms, you don't skim emotions, you read the whole page. You notice emotional shifts others miss. You feel things fully instead of numbing them. That's not a flaw. That's emotional awareness. Second, higher empathy. People who cry easily often score higher in empathy. You don't just understand how others feel. You feel it with them. Think about this. In a room where someone shares a painful story, most people listen politely, but you feel it in your chest. Your throat tightens, your eyes water. You may wonder, why am I like this? But what's actually happening is powerful. Your brain is building an emotional bridge, and that bridge is the foundation of trust, connection, and influence. 3. Your nervous system is doing its job. Here's something rarely talked about. Crying is not emotional collapse. It's biological regulation. People who cry easily often have a more responsive parasympathetic nervous system. That system is responsible for calming the body. Tears reduce stress hormones. They release emotional pressure. They help the body reset. So crying isn't losing control. Crying is your body restoring balance. 4. The hidden benefits no one talks about. Research shows that people who cry easily often develop stronger emotional bonds, greater authenticity, better long-term stress regulation, deeper resilience. Yes, you may struggle in the moment, but because you process emotions instead of suppressing them, you recover faster and healthier over time. You're not too sensitive. You're emotionally tuned in, and that's rare. 5. Why sensitive people are often the strongest. People who cry easily are often the ones who feel deeply, care deeply, love deeply. Notice details others overlook. Understand people intuitively. These are not weaknesses. These are the traits of leaders, healers, creators, and visionaries. They are the people who change the emotional atmosphere of a room without saying a word. Society may label sensitivity as fragility. Psychology calls it emotional sophistication. 6. Emotional intelligence and success. Here's something critical. Emotional intelligence is one of the strongest predictors of success in life. Stronger than IQ, stronger than talent. And emotional intelligence starts with one thing: recognizing emotions in yourself and others. If you cry easily, you already have that skill. You feel emotions instantly. You understand them deeply. The next step isn't suppressing sensitivity. It's learning to channel it into communication, boundaries, and wise decisions. Your tears aren't blocking your growth. They're the foundation of it. 7. When crying is also physical. Of course, crying isn't always emotional. Dehydration, stress, hormonal shifts, high sensitivity, or overstimulation can all lower the threshold for tears. That doesn't make you broken. It makes you human. And if you've ever thought, why can't I be tougher? Here's a different question. What if the world doesn't need you to be tougher? What if it needs you to feel fully? So if you cry easily, don't apologize for it. Your tears are not a flaw. They're proof your heart is still open. Your empathy is still alive. Your humanity is intact. And in a world that numbs itself to survive, that's powerful. If this message changed the way you see yourself, hit the like button so others can find it too. Comment below if you cry easily, your story matters. And subscribe for more psychology-based insights like this. Feeling deeply isn't weakness. It's a superpower.